boys and girls. For those of you keen-eyed, you're going to be like, set up different, because it's supposed to be here, it's there. Yes. I had Dan over for a practice this morning, which was awesome that he was able to come over, and we did a lot of stuff. I started feeling less and less helpless, finding different lanes. He's still super strong and probably the favorite in any super match right now against me, but it was awesome to pull him and not feel completely helpless. But in any case, it did make me rethink a couple of things. Like as far as my inside game goes, when I'm doing my inside movements, I'm probably, since it's lightweight anyway and I'm doing volume, I probably want to strengthen those tendons from my side pressure as well. I've got decent side pressure, but it's just, there's no endurance to it whatsoever. So what I'm going to be doing is inside work today, and it's going to be, you know, completely volume, right? So I think there's 30 pounds on the stack. It's not much, and it's not going to be a lot of full range stuff. So I'm not going to be doing a low multi today because, you know, side pressure low multi, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to like it very much. I like that more for like a dragging. So with this, what I'm going to do today is some cupping, some belt supination. Just again, this is going to be, you know, like this type of stuff, right? Like just pulses. Cupping is going to be just pulses. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do full range with this, where it's more of a pin, right? Both arms. And then I'm going to do full range off of belts, where it's a pronation, but still working the inside because of the side pressure. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So volume day, inside focused. Here we go. First thing is cupping. So here, good. Now again, I'm also using this as a recovery for my practice this morning. I only practiced, I want to say about 2.5 hours ago. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing this as recovery as well. My left admittedly did not get worked very hard. Dan is a very one-sided fighter. His right is super strong. His left is not. So my left is relatively fresh. And if you notice, you know, I'm pulling the weight up and holding it the entire time. So it's working my tendons the entire time. All of my connective tissue and my tendons on the inner elbow is getting worked the entire time. Hence the blood flow and the strengthening of the side pressure without going crazy. Let me move this because it's in the way. 2. And I still feel it. Like, I feel it a good amount. So that's good. If you notice, it's not a cup that you're used to seeing, like, you know, either a drag cup or a side cup. I'm going more like a high hook, right? So it's, you know, off a high pulley. And again, so I'm here, I'm engaging the weight's off the ground, and now good. Be right back. All right, we're back. Some supination. You'll notice the wraps look very, very similar to my pronation. It's because it is. It's just exactly opposite. Feel the burn. Arm definitely does not like that. It doesn't hurt, but it just doesn't like it.
camera's picking it up, but got good bruises, or like abrasions and bruises from the strap work that Dan and I were doing.
It's a good practice.
I'll be right back.
All right, well,
I was going to do it with the original handle that I was using, but I tried this out off camera, and I like it. So I'm going to do my drag hook, or my hook pin exercise with this. See how that feels. The only thing that sucks is the weight hits your leg. I don't know if you saw that or not. But yeah. The only thing that sucks about that, I didn't want to back this off any further. Because I just didn't want, side pressure. I didn't want it to be too far out there. But it is what it is. Do my left. That felt pretty good though. Decent side pressure, a lot of hand control there, so it works your hand really well, and it still works your inner elbow extremely well, which means that my left is probably going to hate me for it. terrible. And it wasn't a whole lot of fun either. That's all right though. Volume day, baby. Just proves that you can get good workout in even on your volume days. You don't need to be pushing max weight every day. We'll be back. All right, not gonna lie, definitely feeling it, definitely tired. Inner elbows are talking to me. They're not like hurting, but they're sore and they're getting pumped up, that's for sure. Left wrist is a little bit sore, but not terrible. So now what we're gonna do is basically side pressure pronation, like sweeping top roll stuff, okay? So set up your belt in the top roll, and so from center. So the whole time your pronator is working, the whole time your inner elbow is working. And again, these aren't super high weights. As a matter of fact, they're not high weights. But it's blood flow, and for the most part, that's, even though it's dynamic, it's also isometric, because the whole time my inner elbow and connective tissues are loaded. So it's an isometric and dynamic workout all at the same time. So isometrics and blood flow are going to build up your, from all the research that I've seen, are going to build up your tendon strength and your health in your connective tissue a whole lot better than doing max effort stuff. Now, I'm not saying that in my block here I won't be pushing things harder, but for my volume work, not really. I may do a form of progression overload or progressive overload in my volume, meaning like, next week maybe I add 2.5 pounds to whatever I'm doing now. So it's, just a little bit more, Same reps, just a little bit more weight. If I feel like I'm starting to push too much weight, then I just add more reps, that kind of stuff. That's how you also keep yourself confused too. So muscle confusion is supposed to be a big deal in building strength and size. So there's a lot of science that goes into this, and you know, look, anybody who says, oh, it's simple, just do this, that's either because they've been arm wrestling for 30 years and like Devin and can simplify it into one thing where he's super strong, but he has the other fundamental strengths to fall back on if he needs, and they're always there. It's not like you can just do one and not do the others. But like Devin has focus, right? Like he has a longer arm, he has a bigger hand, he has a stronger top end of his hand, so his focus is going to be rise. Now there's nothing wrong with always trying to get the higher ground, but if you don't have a good cup, if you don't have good side pressure, if you don't have good back pressure, if you don't have good containment, if you don't have good, at least good with all of that, with excellent rise and pronation, then it's not going to work. So you need to build your foundation. It's like building a house. You got to build it from the ground up. You know, and Devin did that for 25 years of his career, and now he's kind of refined it, and that's where he's at. Or like Todd Hutchings, you know, the West Side Barbell. There's a speed day, there's volume, and there's max effort. Yeah. But if you actually, so that sounds really simple. When you dive into his workout program, like his max efforts are, you know, one day it'll be a belt like this, and then he can have a max effort where the next week where maybe it's the same movement, but now the pulley is here, and then maybe the pulley's here. So that puts 3 different max effort vectors, right? So then maybe he won't be back here. Let's just say he's only doing max effort for pronation side pressure, right? He won't be back here for another month. So there's a whole lot of complexity that's built into a very simple system, even like West Side Barbell's, you know, system. So do your homework, find what works best for you. Like right now, I know that I'm coming off of heavy fatigue and maybe even a slight injury. So I'm not going to do max effort stuff. Now, will I push it a little bit? Sure, but I'm not going to do max effort stuff because I don't want to take the chance of re-injuring it before the tournament that I'm working so hard to get to. So I'm building base strength, I'm building movements, I'm building tendon strength, I'm building connective tissue strength, I'm increasing blood flow. That's what I'm doing to try to round out my strength, okay? So you do whatever you got to do, but don't ever listen to somebody who just says, oh, it's just this simple. There's nothing simple about what we do. There's absolutely nothing simple about what we do. Notice certain movements give different hands at different positions a harder time for me. It's just the way it works. Like that one hurts. Not really hurts, I shouldn't say that. It's more difficult on my left wrist. And that was more, if you notice, my sweeping top roll more looks like a posting top roll. It's just the way my body likes to pull. I'm sorry. My sweeping top roll looks more like a low hand top roll than a posting top roll. It's just the way my body likes to pull. I'm not even sure if I can do just a flat-handed. Well, see, once I add pronation, then it becomes a low hand. I'll see if I can keep the rise and just go with a flat hand. So that was more of a posting, like a sweeping, almost like a Travis Bajan style. If you notice, this strap got real loose when I got down there. That's because there was no wrist-based pronation at that point. I was pulling the whole way with my hand and basically my thumb-based pronation. There was no wrist-based pronation whatsoever because it's more of a sweeping, posting top. So I mean, there's variance within the same exercise. I didn't change the strap, I didn't change the weight, I didn't change any of that. All I did was change how I pulled the weight. There's nothing simple about it. I'm gonna try the same thing on my left. Try to keep my rise and try to post more than a low hand. As you can tell with my left, it doesn't like it. That's because of a nagging injury I've had for a couple of years right here. Whereas I got opened up real hard there and I still pulled through the slip, and it's been nagging me ever since. So it is what it is. You're not gonna necessarily pull the same on both hands. Everything changes, right? So try to stay away from anybody or any system that says it's just this simple. Always look into it. Because even Westside Barbell, which I believe is probably one of the most complete systems out there, the way Todd does it. But man, you gotta be a professor with all your stuff, right? Like it's gotta be. Go back and watch what he when he trained Ryan Bowen. Like did it feel easy? Was it a partial? Did I fail? Was it super hard? And all of it, I mean, you're gonna go through 6, 7, 8 notebooks in a 12-week training block or an 8-week training block. Don't get me wrong, if some of you out there love that, then that's probably the system for you. Me, I'm less of a feel guy than some of my teammates. Like I keep track of the weights that I have around my room right now for what I do. Like my hand and wrist stuff, I've got just my hand and wrist stuff. I do 45 pounds, isolated pronation pulses, isolated rise pulses, and this gets moved back over here and I do isolated cupping pulses, which I may just start doing barbell stuff, I don't know. But in any case, that's my hand and that's just my hand and wrist. That's isolated. And I'll try to progressively overload that as well. And I do that for a set of 50 in the morning for pronation, rise, and for cupping, and a set of 50 in the evening. So I always get 100 extra reps in my hand and wrist than I do for anything else. Like this was all, for the first 3 movements was all 100 reps. For the last 2 movements, it was 50 reps. Because those are whole chains. They're not just pulses. They're not just, they're whole chain exercises. So yeah, that I'll do 25 on those. Not to mention I'm more tired. And then I keep track of what, my bench press. My squat is gonna be easy now because that's 250. That's it. I don't need to go any higher. I don't care about going any higher. That's where it stays. But yeah, I'll keep track of my bench, my one arm row, my shoulder presses once I start doing them again. And then as I move up with my curls, my hammer curls and my easy bar curls, I'll keep track of that as well. But for right now, I'm happy where they're at because I'm just doing kind of more of, again, blood flow therapy with them. So yeah, I keep track, but I don't keep track to the level that Todd Hutchings does. And I also don't do the variation of movements that he does. Maybe I should, but anyway, this is something new for me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I did, which I didn't think I would, but I did. And yeah, I look forward to doing it again. Stay tuned. Tomorrow is going to be bench press, shoulder press, and triceps.
we'll see how beat up I am after today. I feel really tight and fatigued, but not terrible. A little bit of brachialis pain, a little bit of bottom tricep or bottom bicep, but nothing bad. So let's keep it that way. You guys have a great day, and you'll be seeing this this evening, because right now it is about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 1:30 in the afternoon, and currently my morning practice is being uploaded. So you'll see that first, and then this will probably upload tonight somewhere around, I don't know, 8, 10 o'clock. You guys have fun. Take it easy.